Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 2, the prayers by the demigods, text 22. Please repeat. Saha Keshaha Jivan Kalo Samparetaha Varteta Yaha Adyanta Vrasamshitena Dehe Mrite Tam Manujaha Shapanti Ganta Samantam Tanumaninaha Dhruvam Saye Sajivan Khalu Sampareto Varteta Yotyanta Prasamsatena Dehe Mritetam Manuja Shapanti Hanta Tamontam Tanumanino Dhruvam. Saha He Eshaha, the jealous person, Jivan, while living, Kalo, even, Sampareta, is dead, Varteta, continues to live, Yaha, anyone who, Adhyanta, very much, Nishamsitena, by executing cruel activities, Dehe, when the body, Mrite, is finished, Tam, him, Manuja, all human beings, Shapanti, condemned, Gandha, he will go, Samantam, to hellish life, Tanumaninaha, of a person in the bodily concept of life, Dhruvam, without a doubt. Translation and prepared by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of International Society for Krishna. Translation. A person who is very cruel is regarded as dead even while living, or while he is living or after his death. Everyone condemns him. And after the death of a person in the bodily concept of life, he is undoubtedly transferred to the hell known as Andathama. Purport. Kamsa considered that if he killed his sister while living, he would be condemned by everyone, and after death he would go to darkest region of hellish life because of his cruelty. It is said that a cruel person like a butcher is advised not to live and not to die. While a cruel person creates a hellish condition for his next birth, and therefore he should not live. But he is also advised not to die, because after, the, after death he must go to darkest region of hell. Thus, in either circumstance, he is condemned. Kamsa, therefore, having good sense about the signs of the soul's transmigration, deliberately refrained from killing Devaki. In this verse, the words Anta Tamantam Thanum Manino Dhruvam are very important and require extensive understanding. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his Lagu Doshanitika, says, Tatra Thanumanina Papina iti dehatma buddhyaiva papini vishesha bhavati. One who lives in the bodily concept, thinking, I'm this body, involves himself by the very nature of this conception in a life of sinful activities. Anyone living in such a conception is to be considered a candidate for hell. Adanta kopir vishatanta mishram puna charvita charvananam. One who is in a bodily concept of life has no control over sense gratification. Such a person can do anything sinful or eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy a life of sense gratification, not knowing of soul's transmigration from one body to another. Such a person does whatever he likes, whatever he imagines, and therefore, being subject to the laws of nature, he suffers miserably again and again in different material bodies. Yavat kriyas thavat itam manovai karmatmakam yena sarirabandha. Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.5. In the bodily concept of life, a person karmanubandha or conditioned by karma, and as long as the mind is absorbed in karma, one must accept a material body, sarira bandha. Bondage to material body is a source of misery, kleshada. Nasadu manye ita atmanoyam asanapi kleshata ashadeha. Bhagavatam 5.5.4. Although the body is temporary, it always gives one trouble in many ways. But human civilization is now unfortunately based on tanumani, the bodily concept of life, by which one thinks, I belong to this nation, I belong to this group, I belong to that group, and so on. Each of us has his own ideas, and we are becoming increasingly involved individually, socially, communally, and nationally in the complexities of karmanubandha, sinful activities. For the maintenance of the body, men are killing so many other bodies and becoming implicated in karmanubandha. Therefore, Srila Jiva Goswami says that tanumani, those in the bodily concept of life are papi, sinful persons. For such a sinful persons, the ultimate destination is the darkest region of hellish life, Anta Tamandam. In particular, a person who wants to maintain his body by killing animals is most sinful and cannot understand the value of spiritual life. In the Bhagavad Gita 16, 19 and 20, the Lord says, Samaham tushita krura, tanaham tushita krura, samashreshu naradama, samsareshu naradama, kipam ajasam asubana, asuresheva yonishu, asurim yonim apanna, huda jhanmani jhanmani, mam aprapya kaunteya, tato jantad adama katim. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life, attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life. O son of Kunti, such a person can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. A human being is meant to understand the value of human life, which a boon obtained after many, many births. Therefore, one must free oneself from tanumani, the bodily concept of life, and realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Veda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ananda Yadvaita Gadadhar. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sayesh Jivan Khalo Sampareto Partet Yotyanta Risamshitena Dehe Mritetam Manujha Tapanti Gandha Tamantam Tanumanino Dhruvam. A person who is very cruel is regarded as a dead even while living, for while he is living or after his death. Everyone condemns him, and after the death of a person in the bodily concept of life, he is undoubtedly transferred to the hell known as Andatama. Hare Krishna. So here we are hearing that what Kansa is thinking that if I kill my sister and the child, and so I'll be condemned forever. So this is something interesting. After the Sunday morning class, we're discussing during Prasadam, Prabhuchan, Hariprabhu and myself, that how such a demoniac people like Kansa uh, or Hiranyakashipu or sometimes even Duryodhana, we see people, such a demoniac people, they also sometimes thinking like this and acting also sometimes like that. Like when Duryodhana was asked for the 5 arrows, it's given by Bhishma Dev, and he just gave it immediately. He did not, hesitate. So why? Because he was thinking, what is this? Kingdom. For a few years I will live, but if I follow the words, if I give my promise, then if I fulfill my promise, then I will go to heaven. I will live much longer there. So he was thinking kind of, even though it's all for sense gratification, it's bodily concept of life, but sometimes it appears like, they are very much stick to the dharmic way of life. So it's how it is. we were discussing how like Bhagavatam, same Bhagavatam, we see also Hiranyakashipu also speaking all the, the body, soul, and the next birth, and all the signs of soul very amazingly, like exactly like what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. So sometimes I was wondering, then I asked, then, both of them gave some idea that because that is the, power of Vedic culture. Everyone except a few of these demonic people, everybody has, even these demonic people are influenced because everybody was having this knowledge about the transmigration of the soul, signs of soul, they knew. Everybody knows there is a karma, there is a God, there is a controller. I'm not independent. So everybody was in that concept they lived. That is the power of Vedic civilization. And there are so many sadhus. They used to come and preach to the kings in the, the palace. We hear in the Bhagavatam itself, so many times Narada Muni and different rishis, they come to the, you know, kings and they preach to them. Whenever there is some, like King Chitraketu, when he was in, completely sad, and then, Narada Muni came and preached to him. So like that, they hear much more than today. In the modern world, there is very, very, very rare opportunity people get to hear this topic. Therefore, today in the society, people are, when they are in bodily concept of life, they don't think at all anything on the, dharmic way. They don't think anything good. They always much more selfish than previous demons. So that's the point. Therefore, here we see that Prabhupada is also is mentioning Kamsa. Therefore, having good sense about the science of the soul's transmigration, deliberately refrained from killing Devaki. So it's amazing. Why? This is why Prabhupada also say that the rest of 50% of this movement has to be fulfilled by establishing the Varnashrama Dharma, that the Vedic civilization, has to be developed. So in that society, even though somebody is meat eater, drunkard, or any sinful person, because the whole society is living based on Vedic knowledge, and then slowly they, after hearing so many times, they may get purified. Even if they are engaged in sinful activities, at least they will have some guilty feeling, sometimes here and there, like now Kamsa is thinking. So like that, they will have some feeling about it. Like many of us in our movement were meat eaters, drunkards, and all kind of sinful activities also engaged. And then when we come to association with devotees, when we hear these are all sinful activities we have to give up, then it's not same day we give it up, but we feel guilty every time. I remember myself. I was not so much fond of eating meat, but somehow, here and there to see it. But every time when I was eating after, hearing it, I feel more guilty that, then reduce much less, then one moment just give up. So this is the power of hearing the knowledge from the Supreme Lord. So, and here we see also Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also for this verse. He says that if I kill the child to save my life, I will spend the rest of my life in misfortune. This is what Hamza was thinking. The rest of my life will be mis- live in misfortune. So he spoke in such these verses. huh? Those who perform cruel acts are dead within living body. After committing cruel acts and then dying, people will curse me. But even while living, they will curse me. After also, even now also. And he says, I will fear even while alive. They will shout in taunting voices, you should go to hell for this. Those who maintain the body by committing violence on others, Tanumana, will certainly go to hell. So this is the whole point is also explained by Srila Prabhupada, the purport, the why they are engaged in sinful activity because having no knowledge of the transmigration of the soul. This is basic knowledge uh, every human should have. But unfortunately, today, so-called this uh, advanced or developed the modern society, without this knowledge, they don't have. Prabhupada famously saying that there are so many uh, schools, colleges, and universities all over the world, but nowhere the department where they can teach. They have so many different departments, so many different topics they teach, but there is not even a single college or university where they can teach about the soul, about the reincarnation. Rather, they are completely uh, speaking against it. They don't want. They don't want to believe there is soul existence, there is next life. Because as soon as they accept this, and they cannot engage themselves in the sense gratification, it immediately stops. As soon as you think there is next life, then what will be the next life? That's the next question. Then if I engage in sense gratification, if I live like animal, then I will become an animal. So better. So immediately the puts blockage, it doesn't allow you to. So they don't want to accept. So therefore, the Prabhupada says, one who lives in the bodily concept, thinking I am this body, involves himself by the very nature of this conception in a life of sinful activities. Anyone living in such a conception is to be considered a candidate for hell. So, Srila Prabhupada says in the Bhagavatam lecture uh, that the whole world is going to hell because lack of this soul's knowledge of the soul's transmigration, because of lack of Krishna consciousness. The whole world is going to hell. So many times Prabhupada urges us to preach this knowledge about the Krishna consciousness because the Vaishnava para dukkha dukhi, he cannot see the people are suffering now itself, and then more they are going to hell also after the death. So he is so compassionate, he is so merciful, and he just did not care for his comfort. He did not care for what he wants. He just see that what Krishna wants, you know, what Krishna's desire, just to fulfill Krishna's desire. He just we all know that Prabhupada hardly he took maybe 1.5 hour or 2 hour a day rest. None of us can do that. It's not so easy. Even those 6 hour, 8 hours we sleep, but still we, you know, feel so sleep in Bhagavatam class, chanting time. When service comes, try to escape. The Prabhupada was not at all. So this all shows that how Prabhupada was so compassionate and he was so much uh, engaged himself teaching. So, so the bodily concept of life is dragging people towards hell so fast, so quickly, especially today in modern life when they don't have this knowledge about the Krishna consciousness, knowledge about the soul. So they are without even thinking how much is cruel, how much is uh, um, sinful activity. They just go on increasing. The Prabhupada also mentioned in the purport that they kill so many other bodies, other animals for their sense gratification, especially cows. Slaughter is increasing like anything every day. So the result is the people become much more cruel, especially this abortion is increasing. One reason that simple logic that the people kill the cows because cow is our mother. When you kill your mother, then mother kills you. That's abortion. It's so misfortune. The child is, that the mother is expected to the most lovable person in the world. There is nothing compared in the material platform. There is nothing compared to the mother's love for the child. Even sometimes is compared to the pure love for God, like sometimes because this is the maximum what you can get. But such a person, that mother, is so ignorant and doesn't understand the value to get the child. There's hundreds and thousands of ladies today, they are not able to get the child after the marriage. So many years they are waiting. One side is like this. There's so many thousands of, there's so many hospital now, this fertility center, especially treatment for this thing. So many hospitals I see around now coming up because people are not able to get child. But the other side, you see, there are thousands of abortion every day. How do you understand? All this modern education is teaching that this is just some unwanted issue. You can just remove. This is your body. You are one who can decide what you want to do with your body. This is how they teach. So the girls, young girls, they are not trained. Boys also, of course, not trained. They are not sense control. There is no brahmacharya training. So because of that, there's too much mingling. And then what do you expect? Called unintended pregnant. The statistics says more than 70% of this kind of pregnant is aborted. Very few, Anyway, this happens. Of course, if it is within the marriage, if it's not within the marriage, even within the marriage, there's much more abortion is happening than getting child. So this is so cruel, this society, because they think I'm this body, The body means the senses, just to satisfy the senses. Live as you want, however you desire, is exactly what Prabhupada said. That whatever they desire, whatever they want, whatever they imagine, they live like that. This is what they preach. Do anything you feel good, anything you think is good, you do it. If you think is good, you do. But that's not what Bhagavad Gita says. It's completely opposite. If you, the mind is always proposed for the sense gratification. If you go for sense gratification, then Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna says that na sasiddhim avapnoti na sukham na param katim. We don't follow the Shastra Vidhi, the instruction from the Shastra. You will not get sukha. There is no happiness. And therefore we see everyone is looking like they are happy. All the rich people, all these celebrities, but they are all acting. They are all just posing for the social media, for the for the TVs and all these medias. They're just acting in the front of. How you say that they're all acting? Because go and see their interviews. Same in social media, after the photographs, taken, and the people when they are interviewed and they go through in the interview all the difficulties what they are going through, and they almost cry. Many of these celebrities, many of these famous people, when they give interview, when they go, telling about their difficulties in the life, to come to that level, how much they go through, and they will tell all the story, which is, even the audience will start crying. So much suffering is there. So this is the situation that without this knowledge of the soul, without knowledge of Krishna consciousness, people are, everyone actually, the whole world, as Prabhupada says, the whole world, everyone is a cruel actually. Right from the top leaders of the country or the state up to the parents of the person, the child, everyone is cruel here. They are mercilessly, they are just destroying our life. Look at all these political leaders, what they do. Everyone coming in the front of people, they promising that we will make you happy. We will give you this, we will give you that. Please vote for me. And then next 5 years, you don't see them at all. And what they do for 5 years, instead of giving you, they squeeze out from you everything in the form of tax, in the form of so many different things. They just exploit you. And in 5 years, the politician who were completely, like anybody else, very common man, very simple house, very simple life maybe he was before electing. And then after he got elected, in 5 years, you see he has crores and crores of rupees. Just becoming one MLA or an MP. And he is 10, 20 years, then imagine, huge money saved in Swiss bank. How it is happened? From where this money comes? They are not getting so much salary. How is all this money comes? From people. But unfortunately, people can't understand because, as Prabhupada says, the animal, all animals come together and choose another animal to be a leader. Animal, because animals, they know only animals. They can't choose a, good leader. So therefore, the leader also, they understand people are like animals. They want to live like that. So they put them, they keep, like in Tamil Nadu government, you see hundreds, thousands of wine shops everywhere. The government is running. They know in the every wine bottle is written, Kudi Kudiye Kedakam. The drinking alcohol will destroy the family. They write it. And they know it. And there are every day hundreds of people are dying because of that. And still they are maintaining the wine shop. And there is so much protest from the women's side because they are the one who ultimately suffer for that. The children and women, because the man spent all money and not only spending money and he spoils his health and he dies, then the whole family gets trouble. The hundreds and thousands of cases every day is happening. Government knew that, but still they are maintaining these shops. And similarly, slaughterhouse, brothel, and gambling, all these things. There's so many states. One thing good in Tamil Nadu, they banned the lottery ticket, the gambling. Still in Kerala and all, there you can see. The lottery ticket is crazy. You can't believe how people go mad after it. And in Tamil Nadu, it was there some 25, 30 years back on all. It was very much in the peak. Especially in Salem, I remember there is some particular area, there is some instant lottery. You go and buy some lottery, some numbers they will give you, and then within hour the result will come. And then they will display the numbers and people will be, the road will get traffic so much, the road will be blocked. So many people come there and so many people, and there are hundreds of people died because of that, because they lose everything and they take all the money, all the pots, everything they sell, all the furniture from the home, everything they sell, because they become so much addicted. And they will sell everything, then finally nothing will be there, then there is nothing to eat, and there is no other way to die than this. So many people die. I know personally one person, my uncle's friend, he is very close. Same thing happened. Whole family died. He just brought one day poison and just. So all these things are happening because of these political leaders. So they are the one who is doing this. And then next thing is so much promoted the education. All the Prabhupada says all the teachers and professors, they are all cheaters. They are not teachers, they are cheaters. Why? Because they lie. They are not speaking to you the truth. How life comes from chemical. But why don't you create the life? You have all kinds of chemicals, so much, so many laboratories. Why don't you create? The future will do. Nonsense. Complete nonsense. Even if you do, he has no any credit because there are millions of lives are there. You don't have to create new. But still, in the name of science, the name of educated people, they whatever they say, people believe, and they spend also huge money for moon landing project. How much money they spent? What they brought? Little bit dust. We were shifting loads and loads of dust to the neighbors. If they could ask, we could give you 2 more trucks. They want nonsense people. What is the use? What is the benefit of it? So similarly, there's so many projects. They're all exploiting the people. They're all misguiding people. They're all teaching that we will make you happy. We give you this. We will give you this. We'll create, oh, if it's hot, we'll give you a nice fan. Like this, even bigger fan I will give you. I will make nice air conditioned room. All the facilities I will give you, make you comfortable life. But ultimately, people forget about their, the constitutional position. They have no idea. They all more and more bewildered. They think I'm this body and just gratify my body. I should do anything, whatever I want. Then they just engage in sinful activity. So they also cruel people. So therefore, the education department completely proposes slaughterhouse. Why? Because it's also cruel people. They don't care. And moreover, nowadays the education has become completely business by selling. Like the day we were discussing after the class, they just become money minded. For example, the 5 years course, if I go for MPBS, if I have to spend lakhs and lakhs of rupees. First, to get the seat is huge money I have to pay. Then after that, also every year for the finishing my degree, I have to spend this huge money. And then what I do naturally, because I spend so much money, then I have to get it back. People all become money-minded people, so they immediately calculate. So for 5 years, I spent this much money I paid for the college. So then I have to get it in few years, get it back all this money with interest, not just get back your money. So when they come to a hospital, they don't care whether they do abortion or they do heart surgery or they do anything. They don't care. They just want money. They become so cruel. Oh, no, no, the doctors, that so many people. Yes, there are some doctors, they work honestly, maybe, but most of them are, because they are paid, they, treated as not as a student. They, the education department, the professor, the college management, everybody is out from them, and they are also trying to get it back, their invested money. And we see there are so many cases. I know one incident happened like many years back in Salem. It happened one famous hospital. I will not mention the hospital because still our Srinivas Krishna Prabhu trying to get some donation from for 20 years already. Is because he is so cruel and he is ready to do any cruel activity. He is not at all pious person. But when you meet him, he speaks like so nice, so good person. But actually, he is so cruel. So, incident, what happened in my village? Not exactly in my village, just next to my village, near. Right? There is one young man, some 22, 23-year-old young boy. He was driving a bike, had an accident, and um, immediately they took to hospital. So people, they did not know, they were all completely in tension and they don't know how to check drive or and they brought it to the hospital. Actually, the body came. It's not the person. He was already dead before coming to hospital. But in the hospital, they realized this person from rich family. His father was kind of some jamindar, has a lot of land and you know village chairman. He has post and he has a lot of wealth. from for fathers. So he realized and he said, no problem. He has heavy injury and we are doing some surgery. We will save him. Kept in the hospital and they first day they took 2 lakhs of rupees. Then second day, then again third day, fourth day, and in all 4 days, none of the relatives were allowed to see the boy. And all 4 days they squeezed out huge money. And then fourth day, some of the relative of that boy from far away somewhere they came and they suspected. Then they forced to see the boy, and then there is no way. Then they realized actually they were keeping all 4 days the dead body and squeeze out the money from the family. And then as soon as they realized, the whole village came in the truck and they wanted to demolish the hospital, and somehow police came and stopped all these things. So these are the people, the doctor who are saviors of the life. The people sometimes practically they just thinking the doctors are like a god. But you see, these are the people. For money, they're ready to anything. They keep 4 days dead body. They imagine what the family will feel. Or many times it's happened when somebody comes for the treatment, they die, and the family has no money, and they don't want to give the body. There are so many cases like that. They threaten. You don't pay full money, and then we won't give. And you are not able to save the body, and save the life, and you wanted to get full money, full bill be paid. So these are the doctors. And education like this, political like this, and every field, if you see, little analyze, they are just cruel. Why? Because the bodily concept of life starts from the education, from the beginning. That's what Prabhupada says that in the beginning, in the lecture, the Prabhupada says that if the guardian, if the father, mother is intelligent, if the teachers are intelligent, if the government policy is intelligent, then the process should be that to teach the small children from very beginning of life God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Because of this lack of Krishna conscious knowledge, everyone become very bad, very cruel, and they engage in all kind of sinful activity. Harava bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. They cannot be any good quality. They may appear very nicely dressed, very soft spoken, very, promising words, all kind of things may appear like that, but they are all cruel. They are all just exploit you. They are all going to send you to hell. Just see what is practically what's happening in the society. Then actually we have to observe these things, because this is what the reality. We have to observe these things so that we can become more serious about taking up this Krishna consciousness. And then when we become more serious, and then we can also give to others. This is what purpose say, that a human being is meant to understand the value of human life. Because people have no understanding of value. The human body particularly, so much value. If they understand, then why they do these thousands of abortion every day? The soul, coming all the 84 lakhs of species, getting very rarely this human body. And they just kill mercilessly. And who is doing? On mother. That's worse. So the human life, which is a boon obtained after many, many births. Therefore, one must free oneself from tanumani, the bodily concept of life. and realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the solution. Unless we take up this Krishna consciousness, unless uh, we accept that, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Lord and we are His servant, eternal servant. It's not that, for some time, for only this life, because all devotees are pushing hand, okay, I will accept. Not, so eternally we are all servants. That's our constitutional position. That's our, that in that position only we can be happy. That position only we will be comfortable. That's only independent life. That's only actually gratification you will get. The Prabhupada many times says that only sense gratification you can get is in Krishna consciousness. That's the real sense gratification. Not that in the material platform. Because the best thing you can hear, the best thing you can see, the best thing you can eat, everything the best in Krishna consciousness you can do. The best. If you want to discuss the best philosophy we have, if you want to eat the best food we have, what Krishna's prasadam, everything we have a best. So that's the real sense gratification. Otherwise, if we don't control, if we are trying to satisfy our material senses, the material platform, then we all go to hell. Like these 5 animals given example, like fish, the most difficult to control the tongue. The fish is so greedy, it just want to eat anything, whatever sees in the front of eatable thing. And in the hook, they put a small worm or something, some food, and immediately the fish can't see that the hook is there. The food is hanged in the hook, which is very sharp, can pierce me and kill me. Can't see because it's so greedy, so much eager to eat, and just go and catch and dies. And similarly, the elephant, even though it's a huge animal, it's very difficult to capture it. It's a very powerful animal. But they have a trained female animal, female elephant that attracts by itching sensation, by touching the body, and they bring to the hole where the hole is covered, then they capture the elephant. Similarly, the deer also is attracted with a very good sound, very good music. Hunter comes and produce very nice sound, good music. The deer is very attracted. Can't realize. So if I go near to him and be killed, he has a bow and arrow, he will kill me. But because the sense is so strong, the deer goes near to the hunter and cut shot, die. So similarly, there is this bumblebee also, with very fragrant smell of this lotus, comes into the lotus and then completely fainted, and then when sunset comes, the lotus closes and dies inside. Then what's the name of this insect? Huh? Moth. Yeah, this small insect is so much attracted to the fire, because fire is very bright, very, this flame is very attractive, because the eye power is so strong, is pulling, goes and just fell in the fire and dies. So these are all, if you see, these are because of uncontrolled sense. Srila Prabhupada says these are all one sense. Example is given for these elephants. The one particular animal is strongly under the influence of a particular sense. But so far, we, human being, we are such a big animal that we are servant of all senses. Not one by one. At all the time, all the senses we want to satisfy. Then imagine how much fast we are marching towards hell. So we have to be very thankful to Srila Prabhupada by following his instruction, by serving him, preaching, engaging, following seriously, sincerely. It is Krishna conscious and preach this to others, save others. This is the only solution, the Krishna conscious. So in Krishna conscious, there is a way, practice to control our senses, mind, everything. So much instruction given in the Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavatam particularly. So by hearing regularly, by associating with the devotees who are sense control, and we can control our senses, we can refrain from ourselves from going to hell. And not only that, we can be very happy life, real happiness in Krishna consciousness, even in this life and next life also. Hare Krishna. So I stop here. Is there any already is late?
Thinking how what is a very powerful process of Krishna consciousness. The light that is coming from the sun can dissipate the darkness everywhere that is out. But the light of transcendental knowledge coming from a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada can penetrate the hearts of even any conditioned soul, because it's not, the light of the sun cannot go inside the heart. The light from the transcendental knowledge of pure devotee can penetrate the darkness in the heart and bring them to Krishna consciousness. So really amazing, the power of Krishna consciousness, Krishna Bhakti.
Oh, there is.
Here in the purport, the Bhagavad Gita verse is quoted,
Yeah.
Samsare Shunaradama, where I will condemn the people eternally to those.
Yeah.
So there are some entities whom the really Lord wants that they are condemned, but at the same time, bhakti is the process which is for everyone. So are there souls actually existing who are eternally condemned to not get mercy of the Lord? How to understand?
Well, I don't know exactly, but we see there is, we hear also the even Narada Muni and like even Yamaraj, even though he's in charge, there is chance for even the people who are in the hell or suffering also, for them there is a chance to get association of a devotee and get released from this material condition. But I think this is the what Krishna's statement that shows the how much is like what is that Bhaktivinoda Thakur statement? Anadi karma. Of course, what that means? We did not know when it started. So similarly, that here we can understand that means is going to be very, very long life. It's not that we will never. That's what my understanding. I don't know. You have to maybe someone at the point. So my understanding that when Krishna says eternal, that doesn't mean that he cannot at all go. Then does it make sense of preaching, Krishna conscious, or Krishna taking all the incarnations and giving Bhagavad Gita instruction, or all the devotees appearing? All these things doesn't make sense. But more you engage in sinful activity, that you will be much longer remain in this darkness of the world. So that's what I think. Anything else?
So, my dear Lord says that what's the situation for you are going to they are going to eternally suffer. The Lord says, no, I want to help them, but they are so stubborn that they don't want to take shelter. So, what I understand from these discussions is that when a pure devotee interferes, so that's the only hope. Even the stubborn nature of these people, Lord wants to reject them. The pure devotee, as you said, like Narada Muni and Yamaraj going to different places. So that's the only hope. The pure devotee, even such demoniac people, although it appears to be they are going to eternally suffer, right? By the intervention of a pure devotee, they may be saved. That's the only hope. As far as from that whole conversation it goes, Krishna wants to help, but when they are so stubborn, they don't want to surrender, he rejects them.
In the beginning of the lecture, you made that interesting point that Hamsa, being a demon, still knows the philosophy, and still he's thinking about all these things. But still, we know he's a demon, and that's why he's not able to follow. But then on the flip side, we can see that our own devotees, they come into Krishna consciousness. They know the philosophy. They take up the process very seriously, and then they come even to the point of initiation and second initiation. And after that, they are not able to follow the regulatory principles. So, what is it? It's still the some demonic mentality which is still there, which is not allowing them to follow the four regular principles. And worse is that we see that in our society nowadays, even if somebody is not able to follow one of the principles, it seems to be accepted, and that is bringing the whole standard down. And it's okay, we are in the name of compassion, it's okay. And in some of the matrimonial sites, if you go, there is an option now, that how many regular principles you follow, and obviously it should be 4, but there are options of 3, 3.5. I mean, it's just so crazy. So and personally, I feel we all should strive to follow all the 4 regular principles after taking initiation, at least. Okay, before initiation we are struggling and can be encouraged, but after initiation and second initiation, we have to follow. And if there is any trouble, we should open up our heart to some devotees and seek guidance. So yeah, that was just my comment. If you want to add something, please.
Yeah, this is a big thing. I didn't want to touch. Actually, I have. It's already late, so that's. Yes, that's. We had a discussion in Karur Sunday. The verse we had Apiche Sudra Choro Pajate Maman. That verse Prabhupada explains that if by accident, by weakness of the heart, if it's something happened because of previous habit, because of material nature, the law is also very difficult to overcome. So is unintentionally if something happened, it's okay, but it can be encouraged them and preach to them. But by intentionally just someone is just avoiding and not interested and more interested in sense gratification, that is actually is offense. Prabhupada says that namno baladesya papa buddhi, the offense he quotes, the 7th offense, is offense. Because of that offense, they are not able to follow. They are, they're not. They have no taste for the holy name. They have no taste for service. Because they commit offense, Krishna keeps them away. It's not that, because they come more closer, they will be committing more offense. So we have to have a clear understanding. Devotees, everyone should understand that, taking up Krishna consciousness means is serious business. Not that some kind of entertainment or some kind of, okay, hello, weekend business or something like that. Prabhupada said 24 hours a day being in Krishna consciousness. You have to mold your life. Even if you cannot, you have to mold your life in such a way to be 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. So devotee should do endeavor. If you cannot, you are struggling for chanting, if you are struggling for reading, if you are struggling for association, for coming for a program, then do something. Change your life. Sunday I was in Karur, the one devotee, he is inspiring to get Diksha. He is not an initiator, but he told me that he is chanting 32 rounds every day. He is waking up early and chanting and is pushing. And one day before yesterday, he could not finish his rounds due to some engagement, some family function, this, that. And then he could not finish his round. He took a half day leave from his job and came finish the round. He said he realized that if I complete today the job, I cannot go and finish the round. It will be too late. So he took a half day leave and came and sit and chanted. I was so happy to hear. This shows the seriousness. You have to do something. You cannot, just no time, and then it's, means also there is a lot of material desire is there. Therefore, you are not doing any endeavor. When material desire is there, it doesn't allow you to, do endeavor to advance in Krishna consciousness. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's very important thing. It's a big topic. We can another class can we discuss. अंतराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.